Let me start in a different place today with a simple observation about life. Most people don't get in trouble because they lack talent. They get in trouble because they can't transfer what they know from their mind into someone else's understanding. So, here's the question. Are you living with the results of your communication or the consequences of what you fail to say? Because your income tends to follow your ability to communicate. Your relationships rise or fall on it. Your leadership, your influence, and your peace of mind, communication is woven into all of it. And if you're thinking, well, Jim, I'm not a speaker, I'm not a salesperson, listen, you're a communicator whether you like it or not. Every time you walk into a room, every time you stay silent, every message you send, every tone you use, you're communicating. Now let me connect this to the real world. Money, opportunity, and progress. Because this is practical philosophy, not poetry. Money doesn't respond to need, it responds to value, and communication is one of the fastest ways to make your value visible. So let's begin with the first principle, because everything else builds on it. Number one, communication is not what you say, it's what they understand. Here's the big mistake. People think communication is talking. No! Talking is noise. Communication is transfer. If you say something and the other person misunderstands it, you might have spoken, but you did not communicate. So the first discipline is simple. Before you speak, know the result you want. Ask yourself, what do I want them to understand? What do I want them to feel? What do I want them to do after this conversation? If you don't know the destination, any sentence will do. And that's how people end up in arguments, confusion, and regret, because they spoke without direction. Don't speak to impress, speak to clarify. Number two, master listening. The rarest communication skill. The best communicators are not the best talkers. They're the best listeners. Because listening is not just courtesy, listening is intelligence. Most people listen to reply. Very few listen to understand. Let me give you a simple practice that instantly upgrades your conversations. The 3-second pause. When someone finishes, pause. Count to 3, then respond. It shows respect, it reduces misunderstanding, and it gives your brain time to choose wisdom over impulse. And here's a phrase that saves relationships. Let me make sure I understood you, then summarize their point in one sentence. I learned that from hard experience. Early on, I used to win conversations by being quick, and then I'd lose trust because I didn't hear people. Speed can sound smart, but it can also sound careless. Listening sounds wise. Number 3 is your vocabulary. Words are tools. A limited vocabulary creates limited thinking, limited persuasion, limited options. Now, you don't need fancy words. You need accurate words. Instead of saying, I'm stressed, try, I'm overwhelmed by too many tasks. Or, I'm worried about this one outcome. Or, I'm tired and I need rest. That's maturity, that's clarity. Here's a discipline. Learn one useful word per day and use it in a sentence, not to sound smart, but to be precise. Because the person who can name the problem can usually solve the problem. I used to tell people, if you want to be valuable, become educated. And education isn't just facts, education is language. It's the ability to frame a problem so it can be fixed. Next, most people wait until small issues become big explosions. They store things up. They swallow resentments. Then one day everything comes out harsh, messy, and unfair. If you want better communication, learn this adult formula: respect plus truth plus request. Start with respect. I value you, so I want to be honest. Then truth. here's what I'm experiencing. Then request, here's what would help. Honesty doesn't require brutality, but avoiding the truth creates an invisible distance. Let me tell you a story about this. I once watched two people ruin a partnership over something small, something that could have been said in 5 calm minutes. Instead, they waited months, collected frustration like a savings account, and then withdrew it all in one angry afternoon. Same issue, different timing. Timing is communication. Number 5, ask better questions. Questions are the master key. If you want influence, become a better question asker. The person asking the questions controls the conversation. Questions do what lectures can't do. Questions make people think. Questions invite ownership. Questions reveal the truth. Try these. What do you mean by that? What's the real issue here? What would a good outcome look like? What's one step we can take today? What do you need from me right now? Here's a small discipline that makes you magnetic. In your next conversation, don't try to be interesting, try to be interested. When I was younger, I thought leadership meant having the best answers. Later, I learned leadership is often having the best questions, questions that pull the best out of people. Number 6, work on yourself, not just your words. Now, here's the lesson that changed my life. My mentor didn't just teach me technique, he taught me personal development. Because if you're bitter, your words will carry bitterness. If you're insecure, your words will carry neediness. If you're undisciplined, your words will carry confusion. But when you work on yourself, your confidence rises, your clarity rises, your patience rises, your communication improves automatically. Mr. Schoaf used to challenge me with a simple idea. Jim, if you want to be a better communicator, become a better person. And I took that seriously. I started reading, I started learning, I started paying attention to how great people thought and spoke. Not to imitate their accent, just to imitate their discipline. Number 7, speak in headlines, not paragraphs. Most people talk in paragraphs. The listener remembers headlines. Here's a practical rule. Start with a main point in one sentence and then explain. Examples. Here's the main issue. The deadline is at risk. Or, what I'm asking for is simple, consistency. Or, let's make a decision, we're going to fix this now. This makes you sound confident, organized, and trustworthy, and it respects the other person's attention, which is priceless today. I've seen people lose opportunities not because they lack talent, but because they couldn't explain their talent in a clean sentence. Clarity is currency. Number 8, stop arguing to win and start communicating to build. If your goal is to win, you may win the argument and lose the relationship. So, change the goal. Clarity, understanding, and a workable next step. When tension rises, say, I want us to solve this, not fight each other. Then ask, what are we both trying to protect here? Because underneath anger is usually fear. Underneath stubbornness is usually a need. Great communicators look for the need. Let me give you a little story. I watched a manager once prove he was right in front of the whole team. He won the moment and lost the room. People don't follow the person who wins arguments. They follow the person who creates solutions. Number 9, your tone is your message. People don't just hear your words, they hear your attitude. You can say the same sentence with warmth or with poison. So check your tone the way you check your appearance in the mirror. Ask, am I speaking with respect? Am I speaking with patience? Am I speaking like a leader? Tone reveals character, and character is the strongest communicator in the room. Number 10, use stories. Facts tell, stories sell. If you want your message to stick, don't just give facts. Give a picture. Use this simple structure: situation, struggle, lesson. Here's what happened, here's what was difficult, and here's what I learned. Here's one I used to share with young people. You can be sincere and still be unclear. Sincerity is not the same as skill. The day you decide to practice skill, your sincerity finally starts producing results. Number 11, I promised practical, so here's a plan that works without turning your life into a circus. Daily, 10 minutes. 1. Read out loud for 5 minutes, clarity, pace, confidence. 2. Summarize your day in 3 sentences, structure, no rambling. 3. Have 1 intentional conversation, ask 1 good question, use the pause, summarize what you heard. Weekly, 30 minutes. Record yourself explaining 1 idea for 2 minutes. Then listen back and ask, was I clear? Did I get to the point? Was my tone respectful? Did I end with a clear next step? Small disciplines, repeated creates skill, and skill creates value, and value creates income and opportunity. Number 12, communication is not just a career skill, it's a life skill. It determines how much love you experience, how much respect you earn, how many opportunities find you, how many conflicts you avoid, how well you lead, and how deeply people trust you. So here's your final challenge. For the next 7 days, don't try to become a perfect speaker, become a clearer person. Pause before you reply. Listen like it matters. Speak in headlines. Tell the truth with kindness. Ask better questions. Watch your tone. Practice a little every day, because communication is the bridge between your intentions and your results. And if you build that bridge strong, your whole life can start crossing into a better future. Now go practice. Not once, not twice. Practice until it becomes part of who you are.